we're going to start in a seated position or in a kneeling position. You can have your legs crossed as well, or your legs out straight. So just closing down the eyes for a moment. We'll take 3 breaths here. Long breath in through the nose, allow your belly to expand. And then exhaling, releasing your breath out, allow your shoulders to drop down. Long, slow breath in. And beautiful release out through the nose. Settling more and more into the position that you're in. And then starting to bring your head in circular motions all the way around. And exhaling as you drop it down. And then back up in that circle. Breathing in as you go. Exhaling, continuing around. So let's do 2 more circles in this direction. Last one. And then going in the opposite direction. So same thing as before. Inhale as you move the head up and around, and then exhale as you drop it down and around. Finding your own rhythm, your own pace. And then move back to the center. Blink your eyes open if you had them closed. Come onto your hands and knees into tabletop position. So just having your knees underneath your hips, your hands underneath your shoulders, and we'll just move some circular motions into our wrists. So warming through the wrist joints. Perfect. And then back in the opposite direction. If there is any other movements you'd like to make with your wrists, they don't need to be on the ground. Feel free to just get them nice and warmed up. So maybe you're taking one hand off the mat like me, shaking the wrists, and then just making sure to do the other hand as well. Perfect. Bring your palms back underneath the shoulders and then drop your belly down. So we're starting with this arched spine, heart space forward. Maybe you're lifting your chin towards the sky, and then as you exhale, rounding the spine. So think about your middle back being pulled up towards the ceiling. Tuck your chin into your chest. Let's keep going in that way. So drop the belly down and then pull your heart space forward, lift your chin. Exhale, start to round your spine and then move your head down towards your chest. Let's go a few more times. Inhale to arch. And exhale to round. So this time we're going to keep ourselves in this rounded shape and think about lifting your hips up towards the sky first. So tilting your pelvis forward so that your hips, the back, your glutes, your bum area kind of lifts up towards the sky. Then our belly drops down. Then our heart space pushes forward. Then our chin lifts up towards the sky. And then we're going to do the same in reverse this time. So again, starting to bring your hips towards the mat. Lift your rib cage, lift your upper back towards the sky. Push your mat away with your shoulders and then drop your chin into your chest. So same, starting at the hips. Arching the back, belly drops, heart space, chin. And then hips again, middle back, upper back, shoulders, head drops down. One more time in each direction, starting to arch the back. Press your hips towards the sky, so the back of your hips, and then heart space forward and head. And exhale, tilt your hips in the opposite direction, middle back, shoulders, head drops down. Come into a neutral tabletop position. Take a breath in first. On the exhalation, we're going to round the spine. Push the hips towards your heels. Keep your hands where they are. And before your hips touch the heels, we're starting to bend the elbows. Think about bringing your heart space forward. So you're already starting to arch your back. Heart space pulls through the space between your hands. And then you come back into that cow shape. So finding your cat, exhaling. Push your mat forward with your hands, drop your hips down towards your heels, and then bend your elbows and pull yourself through that space as you arch the back. coming back into our cow. Let's go a few more times. So finding your own rhythm, exhaling, hips come down. Inhaling, bend your elbows, slide through, push up. Exhaling to round. Inhaling to pull ourselves through. Exhaling with the head as well, dropping it down. And then inhale, sliding yourselves forward into your cow pose. One last one. So finding this freedom through the body, this own rhythm, your own pace. And then we'll come back into our tabletop. So walk your hands forward. Take a breath in. On our exhalation, we're going to drop down into our forearms, and then maybe you come down into puppy pose. Keep your palms where they are. On your next inhalation, we're going to lift up into this rounded shape, tabletop position with our hands towards the top of our mat. As you breathe out the next time, again, finding your puppy. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale to lower down. One more time. Inhale to lift up, rounded spine, tuck your chin in. And then exhale, drop into your puppy, and this time we'll stay here. So you can be on your forehead, you can be on your chin. Your hips are stacked over your knees, and we're sliding the chest forward towards the hands. Keep your elbows grounded into the mat. Let's stay here for 2 or 3 more breaths, allowing your chest to drop down a little bit more on each exhalation that you take. And then let's lift back up onto our forearms. So feel free to adjust your position, just bringing your elbows a little bit closer to you. And let's go for these forearm cat-cows this time. So as we arch the back, we're dropping our belly down, our heart space down, lift your chin. And then on the exhalation, round the back, drop your head, look towards the knees. Inhale to arch, lift the head. And then exhale to round. 2 more times. Inhale as you arch your back. Exhale to round. Inhale to arch. Well done. And exhale to round. Come back into a neutral spinal position, so neither arched nor rounded, and then make your way back into tabletop position before tucking your toes and lifting into downward facing dog. So in downward facing dog, we're just going to pedal out our legs here a couple of times, lifting one heel up at a time. From here, finding stillness again in your downward facing dog, and walk your hands towards your feet. Once you arrive at the back of your mat, stay in a forward fold, bend your knees a little bit more, take your hands behind your back, the back of your head, and then interlace your fingers. We're opening our elbows back behind us, sit down as if you're really sitting on a seat, and then start to open your chest towards the sky. So you might feel like you're lifting up a little bit higher, elbows press back, shoulders press back, heart space is lifting towards the sky. So we're trying to find this arched shape with the back, and the elbows are helping us do this. So if it feels a little bit restricted to have your hands behind the back of your head, you can bring your arms out into this kind of cactus shape with the elbows bent and your palms pressing back behind you. So we'll make our way up to stand, inhaling to come up, keep that arch in the back, and then exhale as you bend your elbows, bring them towards your face, bring them towards the front of your face, and we're starting to round our back here. So head is dropped down, chin tucked into your chest. There's this broadening sensation across the upper back, across your shoulder blades. And then our elbows are going to lead the way this time. So elbows and head move towards the ground. You can keep a relatively straight leg until you find that limit between the hamstrings. And then once you find that limit, bend your knees again, pull your chest open, elbows back, arch the back as we lift our way up. So this is our kind of standing spinal wave flow. We'll find our rhythm. So we're starting here, breathing in, opening the chest. And then exhale, starting to round, elbows and head come down. Bend the knees, inhale to lift our chest open. And then exhale to round, head and elbows come first. Inhale to arch, bend the knees, open the chest. Exhale, round the spine, and the head is coming first. One more time. Exhale. I always think of this as kind of like these snake or worm-like shapes. One more time. Inhale, open. And then exhale, find your neutral position at the back of your mat. So shaking it all off, shake your hips, shake your shoulders, shake your hands. We've got one more spinal wave formation to try. So we'll make our way into our plank. Breathing in, lift the hands towards the sky. Exhale, fold over the legs. Drop your head. Inhale, walk forward into a plank. Perfect. And then exhale, stay here in plank. So you're dropping our hips, pressing our hands into the mat, lifting out of the shoulders. Find your drishti, find a focal point. From here, lift the hips up towards the sky. So we're just coming into downward facing dog. And then readjust your feet. Maybe that means you step a little bit more forward. So here we're going to practice these spinal waves from downward dog into plank. Firstly, on the inhalation, we're rounding the back. So we come right up onto the tippy toes. Round the back, try and pull your middle back towards the sky. So we're feeling this lengthening sensation along the back body. So hamstrings into our lower back, across our middle back, and then up towards the shoulders and our neck as well. So inhale as you round the back, and then shift the weight forward so that your shoulders go over your wrists. And then we start to bend the knees. And this is where we start to arch the back. So belly drops down, hips turn upwards or tilt upwards, and we lift our head, and then we can start to bring the weight of the body back towards the feet. At this point, we're coming into downward facing dog. So finding your downward facing dog as normal. So we'll find that movement, find that rhythm. Inhale for that rounded shape, shift the weight forward over the wrists. And then as you exhale, bend the knees, drop your belly, heart space towards your hands, lift your head, and then you're leading this movement back into downward dog with the hips, at which point you drop the head down in between the shoulders again. 3 more times. Inhale, rounded spine, come forward. And then exhale, bend your knees, arch your back, slide your hips up and back, drop your head back down again. Inhale, rounded spine, head is tucked in. And then exhale, bend your knees, arch your back, lift your head, push the weight back towards the heels. Perfect. One last one. Inhale, come forward, you got it. Bend your knees on your exhale, arch your back, and then lift back up into downward facing dog. Alrighty. So, bringing the knees down towards the ground. If there's any of those spinal wave formations that you'd like to practice a little bit more, go for it. You can pause me and just practice a few more times. Maybe there's one that you would like to feel like it's clicking a little bit more. Sometimes it takes a little bit more practice. But this is kind of the general idea. So it's really nice to transition, for example, from your downward facing dog into plank or vice versa through these spinal wave formations, just warming up the spine, giving your spine a little bit more attention and thought, rather than these kind of rigid movements from plank to downward dog or vice versa. So if you'd like to just spice up your own practice a little bit more, spinal waves are a really nice way to do that or to include. And also when we're practicing cat-cow, for example, in our tabletop position, it's nice to have these other ideas or these other things that we can do to kind of bring this warmth and fluidity through the spine, because in yoga it is said that you're only as young as your spine, and this just means that as long as you have your spinal health, your back strength, your chest being able to expand and be able to take in breath in a really effective way, so creating space in the spine, creating strength in the spine, mobility through the hips and through the spine, you'll be able to carry on living your best life, being able to do all the things that you want to do, from gardening to any hobby that you have to yoga practice for as long as possible. So hopefully this has given you a few ideas of how we can improve the mobility and this fluidity and this kind of creative expression in our yoga practice, and also we're improving the overall function and health of basically our entire body by learning these kind of new movements. So yeah, please feel free to practice a little bit more. Otherwise, I will leave you here and I can't wait to see you in our next practice together. Thank you.